Oh my God, it is so dark in here, but you know what? That's fine. I have my light going and we're here. Welcome back everybody. It's been a hot minute. I hope to God y'all can actually hear me. If not, feel free to say something in the chat. Also, let me work on these lights cuz this is too harsh. Better? Perfect. Okay. So what's going on? How's everybody been? I wanted to do this stream real quick just because as you can see, I have a new setup. So it's been well, I've had this set up like for a minute. I just hadn't actually done anything with it yet. So I'm actually like done basically setting up. There's still a few things I need to put up like in that corner, but you can't really tell right now with the light. I had another light over here. I don't have it set up because we adopted a hamster and I moved the light to the other side. So I'll get that fixed. That's why you can't see that whole shelf is like full of stuff, but you can't see it right now. So I'll get that figured out. This was basically like more or less a test run. I just couldn't really do like a full-fledged test run for a stream or for like my setup without it actually being live. So that's why I needed this. I needed the feedback and just to catch up on everybody, how everybody's been. As you can tell, one of the biggest changes for me, other than the room, is the fact that I have let my hair grow out. So it's getting there. It's gotten a lot longer. Also, you may have seen two large white ears walk by me. I have another dog. So I got three dogs and I got a hamster. So things have changed because when I was last streaming, I had what, two dogs, and now I got three and a hamster. Hi, geek girl, how have you been? Also, another thing that changed. I don't know if this, yeah, it doesn't really. I'm also doing this on YouTube's like studio to stream this, so a little bit of a difference. It's not like StreamYard, so apologize for that. I probably will be using StreamYard like the next time I do a stream. I just didn't do it this time because I was like, well, has anything changed with YouTube's like native live streaming studio thing? Um, a little bit. It looks a little bit more advanced, I guess, but it's really so bare bones, dude. That's why I think I'm gonna switch back to StreamYard because this is just it's a no. But so yeah, how's everybody been? What's been going on? I've y'all have been following me on social media. You already know what my thoughts are on a lot of things that have been going on. Moondoggy, what's up? I wish I could put y'all's like comments up on the screen. I didn't realize YouTube. This is what I was talking about. Why I did this dry run because I was like, does YouTube Studio let you do this stuff? Apparently not. So you live and you learn. Next stream, I'll do StreamYard or something that actually lets me like show y'all's comments because that's part of the fun, getting to actually integrate the chat. I like talking to people. I like to well, essentially I'm talking at you. So I like talking at people and being able to see what they're saying at me. So that's something I will work on. Yes, I know. I need better lighting. I'm going to work on that too. I could turn on the top light, but then it gets like too harsh on the backlight, and then I look scarier, even though I have the ring light in front of me. So I will work on that. Like I said, I have another light that I need to like point that way. And the other thing I'm going to do, I'm probably going to end up recording a video just like a house tour. Because as you can see, all of like the stuff around me, it has taken over the whole house and I did not intend that. When I moved here, my plan was I'm going to decorate the rest of the house normal, right? And I'm going to confine all of this stuff to my room. And pretty much everybody that knows me, who's related to me, friends, family, everybody was like, no, don't do that. Just put your stuff throughout the house. It's cool that way. So it ended up working out that way anyway, just because there's too much shit to like put all in here. So I'm going to do a video, probably maybe one or two videos of doing just like a house tour to kind of show you like what it looks like when you come to like a severe comic book nerd's house who has like the time and the space to actually just put this stuff up on the wall without worries of anyone coming to mess with it. So I will be doing that soon. And that's basically, yeah, that's another thing I wanted to announce here, that I'm going to be doing that. Let's see, what did you oh, this is the other dog. This is Crypto. Say hi, Crypto. Say hello. Yes, thank you. Okay. What did you think of Batman 160? I haven't read it yet. It's here. It's in the box behind me. I haven't read it yet. That's the other thing. Just to kind of give y'all like a general like life update thing. I have been mostly keeping up with comics. I've fallen a little bit behind in some respects just because my job has gotten a little bit more involved, and I'm also taking back end coding classes. So I've just been kind of trying to manage all of my time with different stuff, which unfortunately leaves me with a little bit less time to read than I would like. And then the other thing is I try to push myself sometimes to read, and I'm sitting here at like 2 o'clock in the morning trying to force myself to read a comic, and it's not working. You know what I mean? Where every page turn, I'm like realizing that my head is slumped down and I'm like picking my head up as my eyes are opening, swearing that I'm getting the whole comic book story. But you know what? As long as I get through the comic, as I get through the story. So that's what I've been trying to do. I'm going, like I said, pick any of them. There are a whole bunch of comics that I still need to read. I have a whole bunch. You can't see them up here. Well, let me see. I'll turn this a little bit. I'm scared because the focus, but I'll show you a little bit. So yeah, you can see. Well, I have my Digimon collection up here, so you can see my Digimon up here. All of this stack is like DC stuff that I've read. I have like Marvel and independent stuff that I've read. It's beneath this futon down here. So I've been doing a lot of that. My boyfriend for my anniversary. I'll show you all these real quick. Hold on. For our anniversary recently, the boyfriend got me Dark Magician Girl and the Dark Magician. So now I have to find even more space to put other shit out. So this is gonna be fun. So yeah, we got all of that going on, and yeah, I need to that's quite the backlog. Yeah, I know. Well, it's not all. Like the ones in the boxes are majority read. Like if you see the long box, it's about 90% full of comics that I have read. So, and then like everything you see outside of all of that, like especially all right here, all of this stuff that's on the floor right here, you can't even see the extent of it. And I'm not going to show it to you. This is where I have like the huge backlog. And it's a lot of like independent image stuff. Like I keep up with everything. Dynamite, Dark Horse, Boom, let's see, Mad Cave, Oni, Image, DC, and Marvel, obviously. And I have gotten a few independent comics. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. Um, who else do we have here? Some person is here. Hello, some person. It's been quite a while. Been picking up. Moondoggy says been picking up a lot of DC myself. Aquaman's another one. Anything Jeremy Adams is writing, I'm picking up. Zatanna has been fun. Zatanna, I'm glad that she's getting like a full fledged, just like a series for herself. You know what I mean? It's not like a tie-in to something else or some limited series to help tell someone else's story. Like it's a Zatanna focused story. I'm glad about that. I hope she gets a lot more of that. Let's see. Ollie says, I have books and toys laying around my studio. I know. I need a lot more shelves. The biggest thing is I need to get shelves for the boxes because having like 4 layers of long boxes sitting on top of each other is not good for the books. So I need to get actual shelving units for that. I'm going to work on that. I see you switch from the bisexual lighting to the gay goth lighting. That's what it is. I was looking at this and I was like, this is something, but I couldn't figure out what it is. That's what it is. It's gay goth lighting. Yes. But I still have all the same lights. I got my Marlboro sign over here. Like I said, I just need the big ass light right here so you actually get some illumination on the shelf. I'll move that. I was going to do it before this, but I was like, I'm taking too long. I'm taking too long just to set up a damn stream. I need to sit my ass down and actually start the stream. Also, I need some water. Hold on. Okay. So yeah, and what the hell is going on in indie comics? What the hell has happened to my beloved scene? My beloved scene. What the hell is going on? Why is everybody fighting? I don't like this. Everybody needs to settle down. I'm assuming nobody has said to settle down, so I'm saying it's everybody settle down. Yeah, it seems like every time I get on social, maybe that's the problem. Maybe social media is the problem because every time I get on there, it seems like there's some new group, some new faction fighting with each other, and I can't keep up with it. I can't make heads or tails anymore of who likes who or who hates who for which reasons. Everybody seems to have like a really valid reason. I don't know anymore. I'm not completely checked out of it, but I've checked out just enough that I'm lost. I'm lost on who's fight. I have some of the bigger pieces of like, okay, this person said this person is accused of doing this person was, fucking around with this person in the background. Like I'm aware of like a few things, but I'm definitely not connected enough to know any of the shit going on. You know what I mean? And like I said, it just seems like a lot of like personal squabbles that are for some reason being treated or being addressed in like a professional space. Is that weird to anybody else to be addressing personal shit in a professional space, I don't know. To me, if I like if for my day job, right? Say if I knew that like my supervisor was having like an affair or something, I'm never gonna bring that up in the middle of a meeting like, "Oh, you don't think that my idea is good? Well, I heard that you're sleeping with somebody else behind your husband's back." I don't. Why would you do that? Why would you do something like that? That's just it's a waste of time, and it doesn't actually help anything. If anything, it just makes everybody's life worse. So let's see. Let me get some feedback from what y'all are saying. Some person says not much. Some of the main people have gone insane. I keep hearing that. Let it burn. I'm still making comics. That's the right attitude, Ollie. Peter says I'm not fighting with anyone. Some people just don't like me. We're used to that though, aren't we, Peter? We're so used to that. We just exist, and then people end up having a problem, but that's fine. We'll go on doing our thing. Some person said, I think there's a video that helps map it out. A Lasmat made a 4-hour doc about it. Oh my god. Well, I mean, okay, you know what? If somebody wants to like link me that somewhere in the chat, I'll go check it out. I don't know if I have 4 hours, but you know what? I can put it on in the background and do other stuff while I listen to it. Um, not Julius is here. What's up, Julius? Not really, not in our modern social media age. Yeah. I think it's good. Those guys are holding everyone back. Long live indie comics. Amen, brother. Job and personal stuff should not mix. That's what I'm saying. That's why all of this just seems so weird. It's like if you know something about somebody personally that turns you off to them, that say makes you decide I'm not going to back this person's books or I'm not going to work with this person in a professional manner, leave all of that stuff, in the background and just let it be a mystery for the audience. Like there's no reason why we should know all of this different stuff about different people. Some of it I wish to God I didn't know. After after hearing it, after seeing proof of it, well, can you trust much of anything considering how much can be edited with like AI and Photoshop and all kinds of stuff? How much can we trust anymore? So I feel like some things that I've seen were probably like photoshopped or manipulated with AI or something, and I'm not going to go back and do the research, to find out if that thing that I saw was real or not. At some point, people are just going to take things at face value, and you're just going to have to deal with that. So I see we got a few more people stumbling in here. Thank y'all for coming in. What do we got here? His full channel name is Alasmat the Shadow Man. Okay, I will look that up. Let's see. C. Dylan, you need to understand that you are reasonable. Most people are online are not reasonable. You have a good point, Julius. There are so many people who get on here and their purpose is I want to fight. Their thing is I want to argue and I want to make life miserable for other. I'm assuming some of them it's because they are miserable in their own lives, and other people I assume it's just because they're bored. Some people are that malicious when they're just bored. Free Fire Comics is here. What is up? Yes, I am doing well. I hope you have been doing well as well. My man Rich Roach Balls is here. Thank you again, everybody. Oh, KS is here as well. Is that you? It is me. I know that I look a little bit different because, like I said, I've been letting my hair grow out. I've been getting back in touch with my metal roots. I'm actually even wearing my. I don't know if I can do this right now. I'm wearing my combat boots. You can't see it very well, but I have them on. Getting more back into that, and I needed hair that actually moves. You know what I mean when I'm listening to the music. So that's basically what I'm doing now, and doing this, fucking putting all this stuff up in my room. I really wish I had the light because I could just grab the light, but it's in the closet and it's hard to explain. I really do want y'all to be able to see everything that's over there though. And apparently my dog wants y'all to see his tail. Yeah, I don't know. There's so much going on in the indie stuff that it makes me in a way not want to interact with it because what is the point of trying to like get any traction going for anybody or for the scene itself when there's just all this infighting, dude? Like I hate to be one of those people who's like, can't we all just get along? Oh shit, probably shouldn't have done when it was Rodney King. Probably shouldn't have done that in these racially charged times. But I mean, essentially, that's where I'm at. I'm like, if not, if not for the kumbaya moment, of trying to like get along so the indie scene can thrive, shouldn't you just kind of like, I don't know, stop kicking up static or trying to create problems for because essentially it always comes back to you. If you can create a problem for someone else, somewhere along the line, they're going to create a problem for you too. That's why I feel like it needs to be avoided. I hate to be one of those people who's like, well, just put your head down and do your work, but I can't think of anything else to say that would be beneficial. Um, what we got here? I blame Mo Biggs. You know what? Me too, Peter. I'm gonna blame Mo Biggs too. He's not even here, and that's why I think he deserves the blame. Fraga did that same thing, and look what happened. I know. See, that's part of what I'm talking about. Like when you, how do I want to say this? Because, okay. See, with Fraga, the thing is, like, I understand where he's when people have like medical things going on. Yeah, I will. As soon as crypto comes back in here, I'll show the dog. When it comes to like medical issues, there is an understanding. Like he wasn't able to work on the book. So that one I'm willing to give a pass. And then there are other people who seem I'm not gonna get into like the whole thing, but with Fraga, I think like the best thing you can do is when there's something like that, when you end up with more on your plate than you expected, more dip on your chip than you planned, I guess. I'm not really sure. You know what I'm going for. But basically, that when it gets too hot in the kitchen, I guess sometimes the best thing to do is just, hey, you know what? I'm just going to remove myself from the situation. There are too many bodies in here and it's a little too hot. So maybe I just need to walk out to a different room and do my own thing. I respect that. I think that that's the right way to do. I think he might have made a little bit too much of a problem for himself on the way out. Um, that's the part where I'm like, you gotta weigh the pros and cons and decide like what you're willing to deal with as far as like possible blowback. Like, because there's going to be, you know what I mean? Especially when you're dealing with like these type of online personalities and conflicts, there's going to be blowback. If you say anything at all, even if it's just, hey, I'm stepping away because I don't feel like I'm welcome, there's still going to be some sort of issue. So you gotta be willing to accept some of that or at least understand how much of that you may be getting. I think that's a big thing. Um, are you still making art? No excuses not to, even if you lose your hands. That's a good point. That's a good point. And to that end, yes, I will still be making stuff. I'm not sure exactly when it's coming out. That's the other thing. Can we talk about that? Is this a good time to be launching anything? Because I don't know. I feel like as far as like the state of the country, and then as far as like just like the general, I don't even want to say it's the scene. I don't think it's the scene because the scene is made up of the people, right? Me, you, the creators, like we're all a part of it. So like to say that there's a problem in the scene is a little bit because there's like it's a part of the scene that's the issue, and it kind of reflects on everybody else. So that's kind of why I'm wondering: is this I guess what I'm trying to gauge is what is the public's like perception right now of indie comics? You know what I mean? Like if I were to come out and say, "Hey guys, I have a comic that I think y'all would be interested in. Here's what it's about." And here's another thing, just a real quick aside. Please stop describing your story as things that you know. I don't want to hear it's like Ghostbusters and The Evil Dead. I don't want to hear that. Tell me what your story is about. If I wanted to watch Ghostbusters, I'd go watch Ghostbusters. If I wanted to watch something that's like Ghostbusters but scarier, there are other movies. I don't need you to tell me that's what your story is. Tell me what your story actually is. Don't compare it to other things. Total aside. Um, but yeah, there's this thing right now with the indie comics that I'm wondering like are people actually getting I guess that's what I'm wondering. Like people like creators like Julius, Rich, Ollie was in here. Like y'all, have y'all seen a difference in like interest, I guess? Like have y'all because I feel like I've noticed a lessening of people talking about independently created books and especially like made by independent creators like just a singular person or a small group of people doing that type of thing. I don't know. I'm not sure. Let me get some of this feedback, see what y'all are saying. So KS has said indie isn't the issue, it's more of a certain group of self-professed ex-pros who don't exactly behave very professional. That sounds targeted, and I feel like I may agree with you. Show the dog please. He's not here. I think he went to the living room. My approach is to work and share my thoughts and elaborate them on my YouTube channel. I think that's probably the best way to go about it. Is just kind of like put it out into the ether and hope that it gains enough traction with enough people that they will then spread it out themselves. But it essentially is, from my perception at least, it essentially is at that stage right now where it's like if you want people to talk about your projects and especially about you as a creator, then you have to get excited about it first and kind of like spread that excitement to them and then hope from there they get excited enough to like want to spread it. Because if you can get at least 5 people talking about something, right, they can spread it, and if they can get more people, it just keeps growing, right? So that, I think that's where you're at right now, where you do kind of have to be your own biggest fan at first, and then hope that enough people catch on, which is a little bit dour, honestly, to phrase it like that. But I mean, that is what it is. Let's see, what do we got? I think Fraga nearly died a few times. I didn't know it was that serious. That sucks. These bloated drama queens got titty feed their got a titty feed. They're a parasocial fanboy somehow. Drama is that mother's milk. That's true. That's true. Some people subsist on it. Like it is their favorite thing. Couldn't be me though. Fraga said he's not doing the next campaign the same way. He's making most of it before launch. I like that. I like that approach of like trying to get at least as much of it done as you can before launching it, just so that that way you're not like, because one thing, it's not the biggest gripe in the world, but for me, it is a little bit of a letdown when I see a project get fully funded and they're like, congratulations, or yay, everybody, like we got our goal. Now here's the update. We just finished writing the script. We're getting rough pencils done. I'm like, so y'all spent so y'all spent like this whole like whatever much time, what, a month or whatever, and you didn't even have like the finished script yet? Like you didn't even finish writing the first story at the very least before you started taking like money or at least like pledges from people for the book. Like I think that's, if I was going to put like a very low barrier on it, at least have the first story's script done. I think that should be like the lowest barrier, because it's still going to take time for at least pencils and then inking and coloring to get done. But at least if you have the story, I know that there is a complete, because if you haven't finished the script yet and you've already funded, that tells me that what I have essentially paid you for, it could change. You might decide that the ending you had in mind originally isn't going to work and you change it. I don't know. It feels like you need to at least have the cohesive idea down in writing before you launch it and want people to support you on it. I feel like that should be like the lowest barrier, at least in my opinion. Let's see. It's always a good time to launch. It's a matter of what you're selling. It's a good point. You can always have a retro newsprint in black and white book. Extra cheap. I like that idea. I think more people, and I don't care if it seems lower quality, or because I think that's the like complaint from like the mainstream companies, that like the newsprint seems like lower quality, and they always want it to seem like we're professional, so that's why they have to have like magazine style pages, which is just annoying as hell. So I'm totally fine with that. Go back to newsprint. There are some limitations to the newsprint type of paper as far as like coloring techniques and stuff like that. So there are some things that they would have to learn to deal with again, but I'd be fine with that if more people went back to newsprint. See, I think it's starting to pick up again, says Peter. I hope so. I hope so. I had a post on social media. I don't know what to call it anymore. Twitter, X. Nobody cares. I know nobody cares, but it's still one of those things that like the I guess the editor brain in me is like, no, you need to call it the right thing. I just don't, whatever. So on Twitter, I have tried to kind of like gauge that interest too. When I had that post, I was like, is there anything worth my time right now? I picked up a couple of those books. I have read one of them and it was not worth my time. Um, the rest though, I haven't gotten all of them, but I did. I backed, I got Von Coleman's Phenomenova. I got, I backed, mm, somebody mentioned it here. Check out John's Long Box. I think, was it his book? I think he had, because he has the superhero book, right? I backed his like the first and second issue, I'm pretty sure, on Fund My Comic, and then I backed Club Van Fleur from Jose Garcia, and Elysian Fields by Odin, And then I'm missing one. I forgot somebody. I backed somebody else's book, and we'll see. We'll see. We will see how those turn out. I agree. I've never understood why any of the writers, including the ones at Marvel and DC, care what anybody says about them and why they respond. I agree. I feel like that, and that's why I don't follow. I don't think I do. No, I follow Scott Snyder and Jeremy Adams. I think those are the only two. That's why, for the most part, I do not follow writers, artists. Well, artists I do. Mostly though, I prefer if they just stick to art. I don't really want to hear. Brett Booth is one who he kind of tends to give his political opinion. That's fine, but it's like I'm not so interested in that. Oh, hello. You want to come up here? You want to say hi, everybody? Yeah. You want to say hello? This is Crypto Apollo. Say hello, everybody. I know you don't know where the camera is. I know. Yes, and hello to the baby. This is the other one. This is the one we got right before him, and she's always very jealous anytime he gets attention. Yes, thank you. Okay, I'll go over there. Okay, so yes, those are the dogs. Yeah, what do we got going on here? Completely lost my train of thought. Oh right, yeah, about not following the creators. That's my thing. I don't really want to. I don't want to. It's not that I don't think you should have an opinion. I don't really want to see it, honestly. Not unprovoked. If you're commenting on a specific story, all right, fine. But if you're just putting out your opinion just to put out your opinion, maybe don't. Maybe don't. Or maybe have like a second account, one just for your art, one for your personal opinions, something like that. KS is ripping up my Ghostbusters meets the Evil Dead pitch. I'm sorry. I knew I was gonna bother somebody with that, but well. Write it anyway. Who knows? Maybe who has the Ghostbusters license right now? Is it IDW? No, they lost the license, didn't? I don't know. Somebody has a license. Maybe they'll pick up that story. Jake and I stopped doing Dojo's show and started doing our own shows talking about indie books. There you go. See, that's definitely something that I feel like needs to keep going too, is people talking, but it's like that's the other thing. It's going to be tough to keep that kind of like momentum going because it's like balancing the same shit. Like I remember it from when I was doing, and that's why I really don't have any interest. Anyway, I'll just go ahead and tell you all that real quick too. I don't really have much interest myself in doing like interviews or like whatever, like spotlighting people's books anymore, just because like it's such a crapshoot as far as what you're gonna get. I've had people get mad at me because I wasn't able to make it, and I like apologize. I was like, hey, I'm not gonna be able to make it after all. Can we reschedule? And they got all pissed off at me. Some people know exactly who I'm talking about. So it's stuff like that. Or if it's not that, then it's like there's the chance that somewhere down the line they're gonna, you know what I mean? I just don't want to deal with all of that, the possible blowback, just because I had someone on, or something like that. I'm still laughing thinking about the one person who got mad at me about that. But it's stuff like that. I don't really want to deal with the drama myself anymore. I'll probably talk about people's books. That I'm thinking I'm still going to do, but that's, I think, another one of the reasons why I'm not particularly interested in having people on, is just another thing. And I hate to say it, but I'm going to be honest with y'all. Some creators don't have a personality. If you're going to be on camera and you want to sell your book, please, for the love of God, know how to talk. The way that I'm doing right now, I get it. Not everybody is able to just talk into a microphone and be entertained. That's fine. If you're not entertaining, you're not funny. That's fine. But for the love of God, at least learn how to talk about the thing you're there to talk about. Why are you going on somebody else's stream? You know what I mean? Wanting them to give you time and a platform, and you don't know how to talk. You don't know how to sell your story. Okay, we'll take it old school. If you don't feel confident about it, practice it in the mirror. I'm so serious. Go in front of the mirror and stand there and look yourself in the, not just like, don't put it on your phone or something and like be reading it off into, look yourself in the eye in the mirror and say it. Say it like as if you were, I don't know, at work or something. And it's just make it more natural, because so many people come on to streams wanting to pitch a book, and then they sit there and you're like, so what is your book about? And it's like the same thing, like I said, where they do the thing. Oh well, if you like Ghostbusters, it's like that, but it's like you add in like the supernatural element from like the show Supernatural. Like that's what I'm saying. Learn how to talk, learn how to describe things, learn how to sell your book, not only your book, but also yourself. Because it's one thing to sell the book, but I'm much more interested in supporting a creator who actually seems like they give a damn about their own work. You know, if it just seems like you're shitting out a book and you're hoping I'll pick it up so you can get onto your next thing, I'm not really that interested because you don't seem all that invested. So why should I be? Let's see. Let me get because I feel like I may have stirred up something there. Let me see what everybody's saying. Um, Oh, let me get a little bit up here. I think the last campaign that people were hyped for was Reaper Destroyer. That was like 2-3 years ago. That's true. Roach Balls 2 might cause a ruckus. Roach Balls 2 should cause a ruckus. Let's see. KS says, I think it could be fine to promote and launch indie campaigns, but you have to go at your own. Build your platform and your own audience that actually like comics. Yeah, especially because like nowadays, other people may build a platform and you may not always be welcome there. Death Metal Hero and Unhinged still do draw streams weekly. It's also a good place to hang out. See, I like that. I like that too. When it's like not just a place for like creators to like hype their stuff, but it's also just like a hangout spot. I think that's a good mix to make people just feel like, we're just here hanging out. And yeah, I happen to be working on something, and as soon as it comes out, y'all can buy one too. I think that's good. Delineating the hornet's nest. Yeah, that's right. See, everybody knew I was talking about B-Rose. We tried to help that boy with that pitch so many times, and he was. I tell you what. My boy was determined to shit the bed on that. He was determined. He said, "I'm gonna." He said, "I'm gonna shit this bed," and he sure as hell did. Let's see. Um, Rough but fair. I had to get over that shyness. That's fair, and you know what? That's as long as you can admit it that you had the shyness at first. That's totally fine. Neff is here. Yo, what's up, Neff? Let's see who else. What else do we have going on? My wife won't let me stare at the mirror anymore. It's because you kept saying Bloody Mary over and over, Peter. It's about big titties and gore. Also Frankenstein. You know what? I feel like that one probably would get you some sales. Stop giving a fuck with the people on the other side of the camera thing. Thank you. That's right, Neff. Let's see. When the fuck did your hair get so long? We were talking about this, Awasi. All right. I did it because I need to be able to headbang. All right. So I needed to grow out the hair, and that's what I've done. And it's not done yet. I'm only growing it mostly because like the hair that's like in front took so long for me to be able to like actually I was going to put it up in a ponytail. I just took a shower though, so it's still wet. That's why I don't have it like tied back, and I keep doing this because I feel it falling forward. You could run a streaming course, how not to talk like shit 101. Maybe I should. Maybe that should be just like a little thing. Like when somebody wants to go on a stream, but like, you know what? Let's do a back room. You and me. We'll talk just together and pretend like there is an audience. And you can just practice talking to another person. I won't say anything. I won't react. I won't well, I'll give like nominal reactions. It would be weird for you to be trying to sell a comic and the dude just like that wouldn't work. So I would give you like nominal reactions. Let's see. Blue balls would cause a ruckus. Blue balls. I have such blue balls for blue balls. Let's see. Some people don't have personalities. What? You mean to tell me there are a lot of creative types who exact it's the weirdest thing. It's the because they have like some of them have like the most eccentric art style I've seen in years, and they are just they have all the interest of wallpaper paste. And I mean that in a nice Christian way. Like I don't mean that as like they're irredeemable people. I'm just like, is there anything else up here? Do you have any other interests or hobbies? Do you get excited about anything? Because I think that's what we should be talking about. I want to hear people get excited because it sounds sometimes like some people are just perpetually on quaaludes or something. Um, who's building platforms? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Nobody, from what I hear, nobody's doing anything. Um, he did a great job of it. Well, that's good. Sorry, I'm. It's been so long since I've done this that I'm not even used to like how dry my throat gets now from just talking. Hold on. God, and I haven't even smoked today. All right. Okay, what do we got going on? Let's see. Happy birthday, my Doge. Oh, is it? Oh, that's right. I forgot. That's y'all's thing. See how long it's been? Do you see how long it's been since I've done this? Dylan's gone death metal. I've always been death metal. Death, black, heavy, all of it. I'm not a big fan of sludge, stoner, or doom metal, though. Those are just a little too plodding and just tedious to listen to. But things with a little bit more, although I don't like speed metal. That if it's too fast or too slow, I'm out. Anywhere in between, I'm fine with a nice happy medium. Let's see what we got here. That's probably me. I feel like we need to talk about Ghostbusters. I'm getting the sense that you two aren't exactly impressed with the latest crop of Ghostbusters entertainment. I am not. I'm not. I liked the first one with this new set where, like, they brought. I haven't seen all of this sec. What is it? The Frozen Kingdom or whatever. I haven't seen all of it. I saw the first part of it. I probably do need to finish it. Um, it's not that it's bad. It's just not great. You know, like if somebody were to tell me that their kids love those movies, I'd believe them. I think that's what it is. I'm not particularly into them, but if other people were into it, I could see that. I think that's what it is. Um, I used to get excited about stuff, then the stuff I got excited about never fulfilled. Oh, oh, that's depressing and so true. Now I don't get excited anymore. Throat goat, hey, you know what? We've all had a past, all right? We've all done things. Maybe y'all haven't done the same things as me, but we've all done things. I haven't even smoked today. I smoked 2 cigarettes since coming into the chat. If I could smoke in here, it's only because this house is rented. If I could smoke in here, I'd be well, no. I wouldn't smoke in here cuz not in here. But any other room I probably would. Let's see. Important meeting when you're done here. Show up. I know. I know. And that's part of the reason why I was like, I'm only going to stream for a little bit because I got other stuff to do because we're going to have like a back room with the Comics Way guys. Yes, Comics Way does still exist. I'm not sure if anybody is aware of that. Comics Way does still exist. We do still talk to each other. Things will be happening. Question mark? Possible period. Um, yeah, we're not dead. Um, so I'll just address it real quick because we haven't had a Comics Way stream. I don't think we're going to have one. This is probably like the closest you'll get to hearing from one of us anytime soon. So I'll put it out here. If any of the guys are watching in the chat and they want to correct anything I'm saying, feel free to. Essentially, we don't have Brian at the moment. Haven't talked to him in a little bit. It's not that he's inaccessible. We were able to get in contact with him and speak to him, so we know more or less what his situation is. Um, and that's about where we're at with that. We don't have him with us at the. It's not like he's dead or anything, but you know what I mean. Like he's not present in this space right now. But the rest of us are, and the plans are to still keep doing things. As I'm sure you've seen, we mentioned Roach Balls too. Rich is working on his stuff. The 656 guys are still doing their thing. B Rose claims that he's doing stuff. We'll never really know until he does it. So, and it's anything with Owasi. He says that he's doing things. I trust him because it seems like every time he pops up, there's something else going on. So I believe him that there's things going on, and that's what I'm saying. There are things going on. Comics Way was in a little bit of I guess a restructuring. Not even really so much that. It was just kind of like the way that some of y'all may have been surprised about like Brian's just like sudden poof, kind of struck us the same way. That's not to say anything bad about him. Like I said, we have gotten a chance to speak with him. We know his situation. It's just as much of a surprise as it may have been to y'all, it was a surprise to us as well. So we're doing what we can to like work with that. We're hoping for the best for him. We hope to see him again soon, very soon. But we honestly, like that's about where we're at with it. We'll have to wait and see, just like y'all will have to wait and see what happens with that. As far as the Comics Way thing goes, we'll probably end up be talking about that here in a few minutes because I know the guys are probably already waiting on me. So yeah, I'm gonna get ready to go ahead and shut this down. I That was mainly the main reason why I was like, I'm just gonna do the stream for a little bit because then I got the meeting with the guys, and we're just gonna go over some stuff that have been being worked on in the background. I realize like there y'all haven't seen hide nor hair of us, so it seems like it may have seemed like we just like dissolved and evaporated into the wind or whatever, but no, we are still very much in contact with one another. We've been, helping each other as far as like feedback and work here and there, you know what I mean? I have not been personally involved in very much of it, but I do know, the guys have been, working with each other on certain things like that. um is Brian in jail? No, Brian is not in jail, to the best of my knowledge. I would hope he's not in jail. But yeah, to the best of my knowledge, no. He's just got his personal issues he's working through at the moment. So like I said, wishing him all the best. Hope to see him back here soon. And are you sure? I am. I would hope so. Like I said, I would hope so. As far as I know, is Brian becoming Brianna? Hey, you know what? If so, we are going to love Shim, whatever sure Shim prefers. But no, it's nothing like that. It's just life, man. Life finds a way. Um, and I think that's probably the best way to go ahead and end this because, like I said, I got to go for the meeting with the guys. So yeah, I'll probably try and do another stream. I don't know, maybe like in a day or two. I'll try and get the light set up because here's the other thing. Aside from just the shelf, y'all can't even see there is a damn Warhammer 40K chainsword right there. You can't see it though. It's there. I can see it. It's right there. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and shut this down. Thank y'all all for coming out, hanging out with me for a little bit. This will not be the last time. I got stuff that I'm going to be working on. It's just like I said, it was between the move and all of the like the just setting stuff up. I had to reorganize the entire comic book collection, and then yeah, like I said, now I have yet another dog. So there's just been a lot going on. So yo, Bancroft is here. Hello, Miguel Bancrofto. Thank you for coming out. Good to see you too. Come back again soon, sir. And hey, if you want to have me on just to, I don't know, talk about whatever, I'm always available. So yeah, I like I said, be on the lookout. There will be things coming from Comics Way. We will let y'all know when that's going to be like on the horizon. Hopefully it'll be soon. We'll let you know what's happening with Brian whenever we know, or Brian will let you know what's happening with Brian as soon as he's comfortable to do so. It's just I felt like too long had gone by and nobody had said anything, so I was like, you know what, I should at least address it a little bit. I can't, like I said, it's his own personal stuff. I'm not going to get into the weeds on that, but yes, we're proceeding ahead. I am going to be looking for, just to give you a little personal thing on me, I'm going to be trying to find an artist local to me here, hopefully somebody that I can work with to get a book going, mostly because I want to have direct access to an artist who will work on a book with me, and hopefully in doing so I'm hoping that'll like help us to kind of both get on the same wavelength of the story and both get excited for it, because I no offense to anyone else who does it differently, I don't really want to do that thing of like I start a project and I have, one person doing the art on the first issue and then the second issue is like another person, or like have a huge amount of time between issues because the artist I got for the first issue has, gotten themselves work for like 3 or 4 other people in between. I don't really want to be dealing with that. So I feel like the best way to kind of not have that problem is to find an artist who's actually near me, who I can actually like talk with on a regular basis and talk to, meet up with, and we can kind of like actually have like a shared interest in the story. So we'll see, that's going to be a little bit of an endeavor on my part, but there he goes. Going to be a bit of an endeavor on my part, but I'm looking forward to it. I do have a story that I want to put out there. um and I was this close. I was about to describe it in a way that I told y'all not to describe stories. So I'm not going to do that. You will have to find out what it is. So be sure to keep checking this out. Keep coming here to see what's going on. Like I said, I'll try to do another stream here in like a day or two. I'll have my lights set up correctly so that way you can actually see. Is it Ghostbusters meets anything? No, it's Switchblade meets. Oh, damn it! I shouldn't have said that because now that sounds like somebody else's book. But it's not going to be like that. Good one, Cass, you got me. Anyway, yeah, that's about all the most you're gonna get from that. But yeah, I'll do a stream here in a day or two when I have like the lights and everything up working properly. So make sure when you see the link to share it out to everybody and be here again. We'll talk about whatever. Y'all know me. Y'all know me. So all right, everybody take care. Take care of yourselves and your families and your pets and everybody. I'll see y'all next time, guys. Oh, there's a second button. Okay.